Greetings, it is I, Tentus Naravan Dracovin, Lord and Emperor of the Dracovin Empire, and welcome. It is time to continue our discussion on the history of Magic the Gathering. Today I'm going to talk about the Multiverse Gift Box Set. Now this is a very interesting set, as it was really only a collection of booster packs from various foreign languages, including some of English. Now there are some unique traits to it that make it important to talk about, more than the fact it was just booster packs. Now it was released in November of 1996, so right around the Christmas season. It contained a French Homelands booster pack, an Italian Alliances booster pack, a German Renaissance booster pack, a Japanese Chronicles booster pack, and the most important part, 2 booster packs from Visions. Now, why is that the most important part? Well, I haven't talked about Visions in history yet. That's because it wasn't going to be released for another couple of months. So these Visions booster packs were released months ahead of time. You could get them. The thing is, these booster packs were limited to 25 different cards which were produced for the Multiverse Gift Box. So each pack would have 15 out of these 25 cards that you could get ahead of time. It's actually because of this release that if you look at Visions, the copyright date on all of them is 1996. When the set was actually released in 97. So this means that the initial release of this product was in 96 because of this, and therefore that's the copyright date on it, and they had to keep it the same for all of them, though the main release was in 97. Now about 10 of these cards actually are a little different from the final product. Some of them have art cropped differently, so the pictures are just slightly different in the way that they appear, and some of them, the language is a little different, just the way that it's printed up on the card. This was just the first set that actually had some cards sold before its official release, so Visions was the first one that had these sets. So I do want to talk about a few of them and just give general comparisons. So I will mention a number of the cards that are interesting cards that maybe I'm probably not going to mention them under the Visions when I talk about that soon, but they're ones that for in the Visions packs, since I've talked about all the other packs, and they're ones that have alternate formats from how they ended up when the official release was done. Be careful to look at them and compare them if you want to see. The differences are actually really subtle for some of them and really hard to notice. I even took some time looking at the 2 different ones and being like, oh, that's a different. So the one on the right is going to be the one that was released with the Multiverse Gift Box, and the one on the left is going to be the one that was released normally with the full release. So let's talk about these cards. So first off, there was Peace Talks. Peace Talks, when you cast it, you cannot attack on the turn that it was cast on. You cannot attack on the next turn. So no one can attack on either the turn it was cast or the next turn. And nobody can target a player or a permanent while this effect is in place. So effectively, for the rest of your turn and for the next turn, you can no longer cast spells or use abilities that target any creatures or target any players, and the same can be said of attacking. So next up is a Venomancer. When he came into play, you returned 3 lands to your hand or you buried him, got rid of him. But his ability was, he was 0/1, and his ability was you could tap him, return him to your hand, and target creature gets buried and replaced by a 0/1 green sheep. If you had ways of playing more than 1 land, he wasn't bad, but otherwise you're cycling through a lot of lands to get his abilities out. So he was an interesting thing that he was turning things into a green sheep, though. Then there was Necro Servant. He was a 5/5. His special ability is if you tapped 3 colorless, 2 black, and you sacrificed a creature, you could return him from the graveyard to play, should he be in the graveyard at that point in time. Next up is Vamper Ism. The upkeep after you played Vamper Ism, you're allowed to draw a card. The creature you cast Vamper Ism got +1/+1 for each other creature you control in play, and all of those creatures get -1/-1. So effectively, you're subtracting abilities from all of your other creatures to boost up one creature. Then there's Dark Privilege. Dark Privilege is an enchant creature. The enchanted creature gets +1/+1, and you can sacrifice a creature to regenerate the enchanted creature. And the last one I want to mention is King Cheetah. It's pictured on the box. It's a 3/2 with Flash. You can play it as though you can play an instant. So that's it for today. I talked about the Multiverse Gift Box. I talked about the fact that it was a precedent that they released Visions cards months ahead of when they released the actual sets. And these cards here are alternate versions of Visions cards. So if you can find them, good luck on you. I mean, they're a little more rare because of this. And there is 2 versions of these cards in existence because of it. So if you have any questions, comments, anything you say, anything you think I left out, please leave in the comments below. Please like, share, and subscribe to the channel. We're always looking for more members of the Empire and support for it. And until the next time, I bid you farewell.